Hey now, people. It's the 1st of June already. Half of the year already. How's it going? Well, yesterday was a blast. Yesterday was an absolute treat. Talking to Dereck Shulman of Gentle Giant was an absolute treat. And I want to thank Maurizio again, and I don't know what would be the most appropriate amount of time to wait before asking Dereck for the second part of the interview, because I did have a lot more questions. I didn't even get to the album Octopus. But the rapport was real, and I also love the way that it came about, because I didn't request anything. This came to me, as a result of you folks watching my videos. Thank you. Would I be interested in interviewing more people? Yes, and obviously the more that I'm personally interested, the more it's likely that it would be, worth my while. Yeah, the enthusiasm was natural. It's like I said, I've been listening to this man's music since 1972, quite literally, and yeah, very important music to me. So did I binge on Gentle Giant yesterday? Well, not exactly, but I did play some more, and I put it all away. So the one thing, here's one that's still out that I intend to ask in my next interview is, do the band receive royalties from junk like this? This is a compilation that came out in Italy of Gentle Giant songs, and I'm sure it's legally licensed, but you still wonder, do the artists ever get any returns on stuff like that? That's where that royalty stuff comes in. But of the little music I played yesterday, because it was an interesting day. I heard from a lot of people on the phone and through social media about the interview. It was cool, folks. It was, I'm no ex-rock star like Dereck Shulman, but I feel like his peer. I do. I feel like I'm one of him. And I have been saying this all along, So yeah, it's great to talk to another conscientious musician, a person who cares. But I got into Magma, Üdü Wüdü. This is a very powerful album. Not well recorded, in my opinion. Again, it's as much age as anything, but there was records better recorded than this at that time. This is super powerful. Üdü, De Futura, one of their, I think it's at a time it was one of their premier live pieces. It's incredible, and it's also an example of something where progressive rock music is extremely funky. The build up towards the last part of this piece it's killer rhythms, killer rhythms. A few days ago, I played this. It had been on my mind to get back to Celeste, prog rock band, Italian. Excuse me. This definitely follows the flute mellotron axis of progressive rock that was laid down by Genesis and PFM. It's good. It's good. Now here's one where I had been wanting it for a long time and finally got it. And it's okay. It's about second or third rank, I would say. Califfi. This is more that keyboard-driven Italian type of progressive rock. The Italians really soaked up Gentle Giant. They really did. This is pretty good, but it's just pretty good. It's kind of like a first effort. I don't know if they ever made any more records, but it's like this is one that's like, oh, this is pretty good. What will they do next? Is honestly what I think when I listen to it. Califfi. And then on a whole nother... Now, see, the other thing about talking to other artists is they don't have to be proud. You know, if you follow my channel, you know that I'm into all kinds of music. So I'm interested in talking to all kinds of artists. And I got a message on Instagram where Dereck Shulman's great niece watches my videos. And she was surprised. Oh, there's my great-great-uncle. I love it. Got into this the other day, the whole thing. Succour by Seefeel. Very dubby, very heady, very spacey, very wonderful. Seefeel. It's a sound of their own. It's not exactly dub. It's their own thing. And then something that I almost got rid of, I'm glad I didn't, although it's not something I'll play much, but it's significant for me. The Family Dogg. This is one of those early 70s albums where it was pop singers who were trying to maybe get a little more credibility. So they had the members of Led Zeppelin as the basic band on many of these tracks. It's okay. It's okay. It's still pretty light and poppy. What else? A couple more things that I did listen to. Actually, I got into this. Dead Cities by Future Sound of London. This is some cool shit. I love this. It's like soundtrack, but not soundtrack type of stuff. It's just really expansive and like the videos. I love the video work that goes along with Future Sound of London's stuff. And then for me, a surprise was I saw, looking for stuff, that there was a documentary on the band Scritti Politti. So I watched that because I like documentaries, and I like to find documentaries about people who aren't, you know, one of the reasons why people end up getting documentaries made is because they made money. That's almost always the case, that either there's money made or there was a moment where there was public acclaim and then there was some kind of big tragedy. It really seems that it's important to the media, or the way our world works, is to have the drama and the beauty and the pain, but especially the pain. They love to tell us the story of the pain, which I'm tired of personally. I'm tired of all the pain. I'm not entertained by suffering. I'm tired of it. But Scritti Politti, as you know, was massively popular in the 80s. And then he walked away from it, Gartside. So it made sense finally that I could find a documentary about him. And it caused me to listen to this album. I have it, but I never really got into it. Anomie and Bonhomie. I rate Scritti Politti, and I like them from the beginning. I have their first self-made singles. Still got them. And this is when he went ahead and just embraced hip-hop very honestly. Again, honestly, after watching the documentary and him talk about him coming back and why he did this, it made complete sense. And then I listened to this and said, damn, this is good. And it's really true what he said. He was really into making the beats for the album, under no pretense that he needed to be rapping. This is really good. Scritti Politti, Anomie and Bonhomie. So, that's my check-in today. Bandcamp Friday is coming up, and I am going to do another new release. I'm going to release the recordings of the Charlie Friedman's soundtracks for a Present Future exhibit that I was part of, was it last year or the year before? The suspended guitars, mandolins, and basses being played by motors driven by MIDI. Excuse me. So sorry, folks. It is the coffee and the morning. But that's coming up. I'll put that out on Friday. Really glad that you all enjoyed the interview pretty much as I did. All the comments, I loved seeing them. And Mauricio, or I forget his name, but if Dereck Shulman's son, the one who works, apparently he either works with or knows Mauricio well. That's how this came together. If you guys see this video today, let me know how long I should wait to bug Dereck for the second part of the interview, because I would like to continue asking about the records. And I'm also curious about his work as a music executive. I already intuit that Dereck, based on his own history of desire to make it in the music industry, that he recognizes certain things about other people above and beyond their music that may have drawn him to work with them. Some people that some of us think, well, what's he doing working with Bon Jovi? What's he doing working with Slipknot? I'd like to hear it from him, because I already have an intuition that I know what it's about, which is makes complete sense. It makes complete sense why he would be able to pick up on certain artists who have what they need to make it. Do you follow what I'm saying? Because he had already made history with his band Gentle Giant. They broke the mold. They insisted on being original, satisfying themselves, and they were still able to find some commercial success. But even more importantly, to this day, that music inspires and enriches so many lives. That is so important. And that's why I'm like I am. Music and art enriches life. Politicians lie and say that they're enriching life, but they're enriching themselves. They're lying fucking bastards, all of them. Don't come over here trying to tell me that, well, there's good politicians, there's not enough of them to make a difference. So the whole batch suck. And I'm going to always say it. I'm not going to back down at all. And the fact that I'm talking to big rock stars, or you want to put it like that, or very important musicians, am I going to change my tune and soften it up? Hell the fuck no. Why would I? It doesn't do any good to soften the blow. It's much better to be honest, especially when you're on point. And I know a lot of what I'm saying is fucking on point. That's why I'm like this. Tired of bullshit in this world, okay? I don't listen to bullshit music either. Hardly at all. Okay. See ya.